There is a dangerous kind of person walking among us, hidden in plain sight. They don't announce their presence with darkness or malice. No, they move in silence, cloaked in charm, wrapped in deception and disguised as kindness. They smile at you, they shake your hand, they look you in the eye with a warmth that feels inviting, reassuring, even safe. But make no mistake, behind that carefully crafted mask lies a heart that harbors ill intent. The most dangerous people are never the ones who appear openly hostile. They're the ones who make you believe they are your friend. They compliment you when you least expect it, offering words that seem to lift you up. They make you feel seen, heard, and valued, but not because they care, because they need your trust to set their trap. Every word they speak is calculated. Every gesture is intentional. Their kindness is not generosity, it is bait. These people have mastered the art of deception. They understand human nature, and they know exactly how to manipulate emotions. They study you, they observe your weaknesses, your dreams, your insecurities. Then they mirror you. They become everything you need them to be so that you lower your guard. They tell you what you want to hear. They present themselves as your greatest supporter, your most loyal friend, your most devoted partner. And just when you start to trust them, just when you believe they are different from the rest, the mask begins to slip. At first it's subtle, a broken promise here, an inconsistency there. You notice that what they say doesn't always match what they do. They make excuses. They change the subject. They convince you that you're imagining things, and because they've already won your trust, you believe them. You push away your doubts, you silence your intuition, and that is exactly what they want. Because once they know they have you, once they know you no longer question their intentions, they begin to reveal who they truly are. Their kindness becomes selective. Their warmth turns cold. The words that once lifted you up now cut you down. And yet, just when you're ready to walk away, they do something brilliant. They pull you back in. They remind you of the good times, the laughter, the moments of connection. They give you just enough kindness to make you doubt your own instincts. They apologize, but not because they mean it. No, their apology is a tool, a weapon, a carefully designed move in their game of control. They say the words you need to hear, not because they regret their actions, but because they need you to stay. And this is where many people get trapped. They hold on to the memory of the person they first met, the one who seemed so genuine, so kind, so trustworthy. They convince themselves that the darkness they're seeing now is temporary, that maybe they did something wrong, that maybe, just maybe, if they love harder, if they forgive more, if they are patient enough, that person will return. But that person was never real. The charm was a performance. The kindness was a strategy. And the person standing before you now, the one who manipulates, who lies, who controls, is the only version that ever truly existed. You must understand, an evil person does not show you who they are immediately. They don't come into your life with a warning label. They don't announce their intentions. They work slowly, methodically, carefully. They draw you in with light before they pull you into darkness. That is why you must train yourself to see beyond words. Don't listen to what people say. Watch what they do. Pay attention to the moments when their charm slips, when their stories don't quite add up, when they suddenly become defensive the moment you question them. Trust the unease you feel, the hesitation in your gut, the subtle warning signs that whisper, something isn't right. Because that feeling is your shield. That instinct is your protection. An evil person's greatest weapon is your trust. Their greatest tool is your willingness to overlook the signs. But once you recognize the game they play, once you see through the illusion they create, they lose their power over you. Because the moment you stop being deceived is the moment they can no longer control you. And that is where your freedom begins. There are people in this world who don't just cause pain, they enjoy it. They don't just harm others by accident or out of ignorance. No, they do it with intent, with pleasure, with a twisted sense of satisfaction that reveals the truth about who they really are. You see, most people, when they see someone suffering, feel something. Empathy, sorrow, a desire to help. But not these people. No, they are different. When they see pain, they don't flinch. They don't feel guilt. Instead, they lean in. They watch, they feed off of it. Because for them, suffering, especially the suffering of others, is not something to be avoided. It is something to be enjoyed. Have you ever met someone who smiles when they see others in distress? Maybe they pretend it's a joke. Maybe they brush it off as harmless fun. But deep down, you know something isn't right. You feel it. Because a good person, no matter how tough, does not find joy in another person's misery. A good person does not take pleasure in breaking someone's spirit, in humiliating them, in watching them struggle. But an evil person does. They laugh at people's failures. They mock weakness. They get a thrill from watching others fall. It's almost as if they need it. Because deep inside they are empty. They have no real sense of self-worth, no real depth, no true substance. So they feed on destruction. It gives them power. It makes them feel important. And the more pain they cause, the stronger they feel. Watch how they treat people when they think no one is looking. Notice the way their eyes light up when someone loses, when someone cries, when someone is at their lowest. They don't offer a helping hand. They don't feel the weight of another person's suffering. They only see an opportunity. A moment to remind themselves that they are in control, that they are untouchable, that they hold power over someone else's pain. And here's the worst part. They will tell you that the person deserved it, that they were weak, that life is cruel. So why should they be any different? They have no remorse, no guilt, no second thoughts. They can destroy someone's confidence, rip apart their dignity, and walk away as if nothing happened, because to them, nothing did. They do not see people as people. They see them as tools, objects, entertainment. They do not care how much damage they leave behind. They do not care about the consequences of their actions. And if you call them out, if you try to make them see what they have done, they will only laugh in your face, because to them kindness is weakness, compassion is foolishness, and the only thing that matters is power. But here's what they don't realize. True power is not found in causing pain. True strength is not measured by how much destruction you can leave behind. That is not power. That is sickness. That is emptiness. And no matter how much pain they cause, they will never fill the void inside them, because deep down they know they are nothing. That is why they need to break others down. That is why they need to feed off suffering, because without it they are left with the one thing they cannot face, themselves. And the moment you recognize them for what they are, the moment you stop giving them your energy, your attention, your reaction, that is the moment they lose their power. That is the moment they become what they have always feared the most: irrelevant. The most dangerous kind of evil isn't loud, it isn't aggressive, it doesn't come at you with fists raised and threats shouted. No, the most dangerous kind of evil is quiet. It is subtle. It slips into your mind without you even realizing it. It makes you question yourself, your reality, your own sanity. There are people who will never need to raise their voice to destroy you. They don't need to push you or hit you or scream at you. They can break you with nothing but words. Not the kind that are openly cruel. No, that would be too obvious. They are smarter than that. Instead, they twist reality, distort the truth, and manipulate your perception until you don't know what's real anymore. You see, an evil person understands that control is the ultimate power. And the easiest way to control someone is to make them doubt themselves. So they lie, but not just any kind of lie, the kind of lie that makes you question what you saw, what you heard, what you felt. They make you second guess your own experiences. You confront them about something they did, something you know for a fact happened, and they look you in the eye and say, "That never happened." And suddenly you hesitate. Suddenly you wonder if maybe, just maybe, you got it wrong. Maybe you misunderstood. Maybe you're overreacting. And that is exactly what they want. Because the more you doubt yourself, the more control they have over you. They twist their words, shifting blame, rewriting history, making themselves the victim while painting you as the problem. They call you too sensitive, too emotional, too paranoid. They say you're imagining things, that you're reading too much into it, that you're the one who needs to change. And the worst part? You believe them, because they don't just lie with their words, they lie with their actions. One moment they tear you down, make you feel small, make you question everything. And just when you're about to walk away, they switch, they become kind, loving, attentive. They tell you how much they care, how much they appreciate you. And suddenly you feel foolish forever doubting them. And that's the cycle. One moment they make you question yourself, and the next they reassure you just enough to keep you hooked. They create confusion, chaos, a storm inside your mind so that you can't see the truth. The problem was never you, it was always them. But here's what they don't tell you. Lies only have power over those who choose to believe them. The moment you recognize the pattern, the moment you stop questioning yourself and start questioning them, the illusion shatters. Because truth, no matter how deeply buried, always rises to the surface. And once you see the truth, you can never unsee it. There are people in this world who thrive on conflict. They don't just tolerate chaos, they create it. They don't just find themselves in the middle of drama, they orchestrate it. They stir the pot, whisper in ears, plant seeds of doubt, and then stand back, watching as everything burns, pretending to be innocent. These people are masters of division. They don't attack you directly, that would be too obvious. Instead, they pit people against each other. They take a small misunderstanding and turn it into a war. They take an innocent comment and twist it just enough to create tension. They play both sides, pretending to be a friend to everyone while secretly pulling the strings behind the scenes. And the worst part, they do it so well that by the time you realize what's happening, the damage is already done. Relationships are broken, trust is shattered, and they walk away with exactly what they wanted, control. Because that's what this is really about, control, power, influence. An evil person does not want peace. They do not want unity. They want domination. And the easiest way to dominate is to divide. They will tell you that someone is talking about you behind your back. They will drop little hints, carefully chosen words designed to plant doubt in your mind. And once that seed is planted, they don't even need to do anything else. They let you water it with your own thoughts, your own insecurities, your own fears, and soon you start looking at people differently. You start questioning their loyalty. You start seeing enemies where there were once friends. And while you are fighting battles that they created, they are watching, smiling, waiting for the perfect moment to step in as the peacemaker, the one who seems to have all the answers, the only one you can really trust. But trust is the last thing you should ever give them, because they are not here to help. They are here to control, to manipulate, to make sure that no one ever becomes strong enough to stand against them. They isolate you without you even realizing it. They push people apart while making it seem like they are the only stable force in the chaos they created. They want you to rely on them. They want you to depend on them, because the more dependent you are, the easier you are to control. And if you ever catch on, if you ever start putting the pieces together, they will turn their tactics on you. They will make you the villain. Suddenly, you are the one causing problems. You are the one being unreasonable. They will twist the story so well that people will believe them without question, and that is their greatest weapon, convincing the world that they are the victim while they continue to pull the strings. But here's what they don't want you to know. Their power only exists in the shadows. The moment you bring their games into the light, the moment you refuse to be manipulated, the moment you stop listening to their whispers, their power crumbles. Because without deception, without division, without control, they are nothing. And the moment you refuse to play their game is the moment they lose. There is one thing an evil person will never do: take responsibility for their actions. No matter what they've done, no matter how much damage they've caused, no matter how obvious their wrongdoing is, they will always find a way to shift the blame onto someone else. They will justify, they will excuse, they will twist the narrative until they come out looking like the victim. Because in their mind, they can do no wrong. You can confront them with the truth, lay out every detail, every fact, every piece of undeniable proof, and it still won't matter. They won't admit fault. They won't apologize, not sincerely. If they do apologize, it's never because they feel remorse. It's because they need to maintain control. It's a tactic, a strategy, a move in their game to keep you hooked. And the moment they feel safe again, the cycle continues. They will say things like, "You're too sensitive, you're overreacting. That's not what I meant. They will find ways to make you question whether you are the one at fault, and if that doesn't work, they will find someone else to blame. Maybe it's the circumstances, maybe it's stress, maybe it's the past. They will dig up every excuse in the book except the one that truly matters, themselves and the people around them. They manipulate them too. They tell half-truths, twist situations, paint themselves as the misunderstood, the unfairly judged, the one who is always being attacked. They cry victim while they destroy everything around them. And because they can be so convincing, because they know exactly what to say to make people believe them, they often get away with it. But here's what you must understand. Someone who cannot take accountability is someone who will never change. Because change requires self-awareness. It requires humility. It requires a willingness to see the damage you've done and make things right. But an evil person does not care about making things right. They care about winning, about control, about maintaining the illusion that they are always in the right, no matter how much evidence says otherwise. And the more you allow them to escape responsibility, the more they will continue to harm. Because they don't see consequences. They don't see the pain they cause as their fault. They see it as just another problem for someone else to deal with. And that is why the only way to break free is to stop expecting them to change, to stop believing that one day they will wake up and finally see the truth. They won't. The only truth they care about is the one that serves them. And the moment you stop giving them the benefit of the doubt, the moment you stop making excuses for them, the moment you walk away and refuse to play their game, that is the moment they lose. There is something unsettling about the way an evil person operates. They move through life without guilt, without shame, without a conscience that holds them back. The things that would keep a decent person awake at night, the pain they've caused, the betrayals, the broken trust, mean nothing to them. They don't carry the weight of regret. They don't second guess their choices. They don't pause to reflect on the damage they leave behind, because to them there is no damage. There are no real consequences. There is only what they want and what stands in their way. Most people, when they hurt someone, they feel it. Even if it was unintentional, even if it was a mistake, there is something inside them that stirs, that makes them want to make it right. But not these people. No, they do not have that voice inside. They do not have that pull toward doing the right thing. And that is what makes them dangerous. Because when a person has no conscience, there is nothing they won't do, no limit they won't cross, no line they won't blur if it serves their purpose. You will never see genuine remorse in their eyes. You will never hear them say, "I was wrong," unless it benefits them in some way. They might fake emotions when they need to, might put on a show of tears or regret, but it is always calculated. Always an act. Watch closely and you will see there is no real depth to it. Because when the moment passes, when they think no one is watching, the coldness returns. They move on as if nothing happened, as if the hurt they caused was insignificant, as if people are disposable and emotions are nothing more than tools to be used. And here's the thing, they know exactly what they're doing. They know they should feel something, should care, should stop themselves. But they don't. And they never will. Because to them, empathy is a weakness and morality is nothing more than a restriction that applies to everyone else but not to them. They are fully aware of their choices, fully aware of the pain they cause, but they do not care. Because in their mind, the only thing that matters is what they want. And if someone has to suffer for them to get it, then so be it. You can try to make them see, try to make them understand, try to appeal to their humanity, but you will be speaking a language they do not understand. You will be hoping for a reaction that will never come because there is nothing inside them to reach, and the sooner you accept that, the sooner you can protect yourself from them. Because a person without a conscience cannot be reasoned with. They cannot be fixed. They cannot be saved. They can only be avoided. Because the moment you stop expecting them to be human, the moment you stop waiting for them to care, that is the moment you take your power back.